Hey, how's it going? Today I'm going to be talking about Little Prince book and what that is. The Little Prince is a novel written by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, a French writer and aviator. It was first published in 1943 and has since become one of the most translated and best-selling book in the world. It's definitely up there. I don't know. I have done a little bit of research. Top 20, but either way, there's a overall book is very good for those of you whatever age you might be. The story is often classified as a children's book. Exactly. But its themes and messages are relevant to readers of all ages, basically. That's what I'm saying. I'll bring it back to economy, basically. All the videos that I'm gonna be making today is gonna be about the economy, but that's what my current focus is on the economy. But perhaps for other people, they might find something different based on what they're looking for in this particular book. The book tells the story about a pilot who has crashed his plane in the Sahara Desert and meets a young prince who has traveled to different planets in search for wisdom and understanding. Throughout their conversation and adventures, the little prince shares his unique perspective of life, love, friendship, and human connection. Perhaps some of the things that the person was looking for, and in the desert, or perhaps missing four in the desert. So perhaps that's some of the examples there. He encounters various inhabitants of each of the planets he visits, each representing different aspects of adult behavior and society norms, which I'm going to be focusing on in this video. Throughout the story, the little prince imparts valuable life lessons and observations about the world, reminding readers of the importance of seeing within the heart, cherishing the simple and authentic things in life. The book is known for its wi- wi- very interesting illustrations drawn by the author himself. Something that you need to find where people are, and some of those kid books or very simpler explanations made for perhaps someone who might be, I don't know, 20, 12 years, I don't know, 15 years old. If you are able to explain to that person, even in a work or professional space, that if you need to explain something to, I don't know, 40, 45, 50 people, you cannot use very complex terms and explanations, and perhaps so one way to do it is yourself as perhaps a team leader or manager of large groups. You need to simplify all explanations. You need to find people where they are, take them by the hand, bring them or pull them all the way to the top, right? So you need to find the where they are, and perhaps sometimes you need to find those people, I don't know, with the children's books. I guess that's how. This video is not directed to any kids, right? That's what I'm saying. I'm looking to talk with you professionals who are interested in economy, right? And the Little Prince is celebrated for his philosophical and allegorical elements, touching on themes such as the nature of love, loss of childhood innocence, and the absurdity of adult behavior. On this, in particular, on French and philosophers that known for this particular aspect of philosophy, absurdity. I have done a lot of research myself. I'll touch on that a little bit later. But before I can do that, I need to find even where everything begins. So I'm talking only about people at level one, right? And from there, perhaps I can draw out more complex philosophy, which for some reason French did a lot of work on. That would be absurdity of adult behavior. It has been analyzed and interpreted in many ways over the years and continue to be a beloved classic that resonates with readers worldwide. The book is relatively short. Yeah, I have read it yesterday or listened to audiobook. So it's For any of you who are interested, perhaps it's weekend already. Most of the people perhaps not working, enjoying their lives. Perhaps it's something to do. Make it accessible for readers of all ages, and its timeless themes ensures the enduring popularity. It's often considered a must-read for anyone interested in literature, philosophy, and human conditions. From there, if you are interested overall in philosophy and looking at different aspects of humans, well, from this book, perhaps I will recommend a couple other books with philosophy and how French sees world, I guess, because so many French philosophers are coming with very interesting ideas and concepts. The little prince, the young prince, visits several different planets during his interstellar journey. Each planet has he visits has its own unique character and inhabitants, and they serve a allegorical representation of various aspects of human behavior and society. Let's take a look at all 8 different planets that Little Prince has visited. If the person who written this particular book, perhaps some of the information was classified for whatever reason, right? But names of those asteroids sounds a lot like. But either way, sometimes if you are in the military, you cannot disclose some information. But either way, so then you need to make up a story and make it very simple, I guess, for others to understand. Some people will understand what I'm talking about. Asteroid B612, the Little Prince home planet, where his story begins. It represents the innocence and purity of childhood. The prince is the only inhabitant of the small planet, carrying out the roads and various volcanoes. Very simple story. The concepts you can draw out your own understanding of what that person meant by saying that. But either way, so that's where the story begins. Moving from there, asteroid 325, a second planet he visits is inhabited by a king who represents the idea of absolute monarchy. The king is alone on his planet, and he likes to give orders even though there is no one to rule over. For any of you in hierarchical structure of perhaps chain of command, for those of you who know what I'm referring to, perhaps that would be a planet where you might find a lot of people in. Asteroid 326, on this planet, the little prince meets a vain man who spends his time admiring himself and seeking compliments. This character symbolizes the human vanity and the desire for admiration. For those of you who haven't reached this planet, that's more the different books referring to this particular area differently. We calling it air rights. So if you do not ever understand this concept, air rights. So there's people who are looking to gain as many air rights as possible. You might find those people. You perhaps have seen a couple of those people up there. So that's a different planet, right? Asteroid 327. The next planet is inhabited by a drunken who drinks to forget his shame. He represents alcoholism and asceticism. Uh, Perhaps there's a dip in that person's life, or perhaps there's a lot of regret. A person is working with his emotions, right? Asteroid 328. Here, Little Prince encounters a lamplighter who continues the lights and extinguishes the lamp, symbolizing the futility of his actions and the idea of a representative spontaneous job. It can be not very perhaps fulfilling job that that person is doing. I don't know, for some reason I'm thinking about Burning Man. It's something that you can perhaps, if you don't know what that is, it's a music festival that a lot of people can go to for a couple of weeks every year in Black Rock Desert, and you can join the community of people there and find fulfillment for giving back. one of the things that you can do. There's no money involved in the Burning Man festival, but you can join community and be a volunteer who might be interested in lighting the lamps every night. That's some interesting thing to do. Perhaps it's a different example, right? But it's a job. A job is a job. If you're there, if you're doing it, do that to the best of your knowledge and expertise. If you're in McDonald's, whatever you're doing, do make those sandwiches, make those best sandwiches that you can make. Asteroid 329 on the planet, the Little Prince meets a geographer who has never actually explored the world he describes in his books, in his work, right? This character represents the limitations of the theoretical knowledge and the importance of real life experiences. Uh, yeah, I wish more people would travel a little bit more, perhaps to have real life encounters. Perhaps that's if I can draw anything other from this particular example for people out there, or perhaps if I were. Yeah, let's finish on that. Asteroid 7 or 330. The little prince visits a planet inhabited by a single flower with thorns. This flower is the same one he left behind on his own planet and represents his own love and attachment. Yeah, interesting, but there's all narrative of the book revolves around it. So it just, I guess, you can implement that as a very interesting story, a little bit of drama to make a plot more interesting for people to read. And the last one, Asteroid 331. On this planet, he meets Fox, who imparts on one of the most famous lessons in the book on the void beyond Quvac. That's in French, I can't understand. One sees clarity only with the heart. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Which is a very interesting words, I guess. It will come back to philosophy and understanding, I guess. The fox represents the wisdom of forming meaningful connections and the importance of friendship. For those of you who would like to learn more, I would highly recommend to purchase my book. In the book, I'm sharing a lot of information. In this book, I'm focusing a lot on fitness and everything, on all information that I gather myself, real life, hands-on experience from a fitness industry, as well as perhaps if you're just starting out, if you would like to make a career out of lifting weights, as well as how to build a business out of that, as well as perhaps doing for your own leisure is something that you myself perhaps not necessarily from the beginning interested to dive into, but there's information where to begin, what you need to know, as well as perhaps your rest, exercise, eating. All the areas are covered in this book. It's so much information that I was looking to share for a very long time. I have finally find time to sit down and write things down. For those of you who are interested, you can find this book in the description below, as well as top retailers has it. These planets and their inhabitants serves as the vehicles for the prince to explore the comment on various aspects of human nature and society, offering philosophical insights and life lessons throughout his journey. I would highly recommend to read it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next one.